1921. It was the start of a turbulent decade in America, a decade of prohibition, speakeasies, flappers, and extravagance. But for one lady, it was the start of her dream. Daisy Derby Whipple was an active Hagerstonian with a great love of animals. One day, after a friend told her of a local animal cruelty case, Daisy decided to do something about the lack of an organization to help animals in Washington County. On November 12, 1921, Daisy founded the Washington County Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. She, along with 8 founding directors, opened the first shelter on Wilson Boulevard in a one-room building with a wood stove and 4 wooden kennels. She had 12 animals in her care and was responsible for the sale of county dog licenses.
I just can't imagine what it was like in 1921 for Daisy Derby Whipple to have this vision and this dream in such a time as the 20s, and to make it come together in such a way that she was able to save lives then.
Through the Great Depression, when many could no longer afford to keep their pets, and the decades following, the number of animals in the SPCA's care continued to climb. In 1938, the SPCA moved out of city limits to its current location on Mogginsville Road. A small shelter was built with 14 unheated kennels and runs for dogs and 2 kennels for cats. Known colloquially as the dog catcher, an SPCA agent lived in a house on the property. He was on call 24/7 to pick up lost and stray animals.
My first memory of the Humane Society was a bunch of panel trucks running around, and the only time you ever heard of them or anything was somebody calling to pick up an animal.
By the 1950s, overpopulation was a pressing issue, and the SPCA cared for over 4,000 animals annually. At this time, shelter leadership changed, but females continued to run the show. Margaret Stickle was elected president in 1952 as Daisy Derby Whipple transitioned to chairman of the board. By the 1970s, community recognition for the SPCA's efforts grew. After 50 years of performing animal control duties solely through private donations, the SPCA reached an agreement with the county for annual animal control funding. Upon the deterioration of the original Mogginsville Road building, Daisy Derby Whipple and Margaret Stickle broke ground together for a new facility. At the time, the Blue Rancher-style shelter was considered state-of-the-art.
I remember my first day walking into a small cinder block building. We had 10 dog runs, 20 cat cages.
But as the pet population exploded, with 650 stray cats and dogs coming to the shelter each month, this new building still wasn't enough. By the late 1990s, the SPCA had outgrown its blue building. With support from the county and the community, a fundraising campaign for another new facility kicked off in 1999. It was at this time that Pam Clopper, board president, announced that the SPCA would now be called the Humane Society of Washington County.
A new name conveys a more positive image and will better reflect our focus on education and animal welfare.
In 2001, the 13,200 square foot facility was complete, and in 2015, a 6,800 square foot adoption center and veterinary center were added. This expansion was the impetus for the Humane Society of Washington County to become the progressive animal welfare organization it is today.
The Humane Society of Washington County is extremely progressive. Not only does this facility service the unwanted animals, the animals that are in need, and really find them their forever homes, it addresses the feral cat colonies within the community via our TNR program. HSWC provides low-cost wellness clinics to the residents of Washington County. Not to mention the fact that we have a food bank. Our field service officers will take food multiple times a year to various low-income facilities within the county to ensure that those animals can have what they need, in addition to offering rabies clinics in various locations in the community. The list is endless.
With over 40 staff members and a multitude of programs, there are many moving pieces to the daily operations of HSWC, but none of it would be possible without the help of volunteers.
Volunteers dedicate hundreds of hours a month to us and to the animals in our care.
Volunteers assist with cleaning, animal enrichment, dog walking, fundraising events, and more. While volunteers help with important work at the shelter, fosters extend HSWC's work beyond the shelter's walls. The foster care program is critical for saving more lives. Fosters open their homes to young kittens, nursing moms, animals recovering from specialized surgeries, field service case animals, and those who need more socialization or confidence before finding their forever homes.
Our foster care family here at the shelter is invaluable to what we do here for these animals.
Particularly during busy summer months, there can be up to 300 animals in foster care at any time. This essentially doubles the number of animals that HSWC can help.
It's really an extraordinary partnership with members of our community, and it helps us really be bigger than we ever would be on our own.
One of the most well-known aspects of HSWC's work is its adoptions program. Even during a global pandemic, staff work tirelessly to find loving homes for not only dogs and cats, but birds, rabbits, reptiles, horses, guinea pigs, and more. No matter the reason an animal finds itself at the shelter, each one is treated as an individual and given the unique attention it deserves.
We have to be the voice for them when they can't speak for themselves. So I take a lot of pride that the people that work here take their jobs very seriously, and they do truly give animals a second chance.
One of the most rewarding experiences at HSWC is when an animal finds its forever home. The bond between humans and animals is extraordinary, and learning how shelter alumni have impacted the lives of their adopters reinforces the importance of this work.
After I lost my wife, for a couple years there, it was just Champ and I, and boy, he was a big help.
As the only animal shelter in Washington County, HSWC holds the local animal control contract. Its field services officers are responsible for the enforcement of local ordinances and state laws that ensure the humane treatment of animals.
One thing I wish the public knew about field services, we're not just dog catchers. We've come so far over the past years from being reactive to being proactive and to protecting the animals and the people in our community.
Field Services investigates situations of hoarding, neglect, abuse, and abandonment. Officers work closely with local law enforcement to ensure that justice is served for all animals in Washington County.
One of my favorite memories working here at the Humane Society for me personally, I would say it would be a trial that we had in circuit court for dog fighting. You've often heard the phrase, be the voice for those who cannot speak. On the sentencing day of that trial, I was allowed to stand up and speak for those dogs and give a victim impact statement, which was something huge because that's reserved for humans. Those types of statements are just not heard of in animal welfare. So to stand there and literally be the voice for those who could not speak was one of the most memorable, emotional moments for me as an officer.
Field Services officers also serve the community by distributing thousands of pounds of pet food and supplies to seniors and low-income county residents through their Meals for Paws program. Additionally, wellness clinics, low-cost rabies clinics, a pet food bank, and spay-neuter assistance vouchers are all ways that HSWC helps with affordable care so that pets can stay out of the shelter and with the owners who love them.
I think with the community and all of our programs that it has really helped the community to keep their animals in the home.
Overpopulation, particularly with felines, has been a continuous struggle throughout the shelter's history. It is a challenge that HSWC combats with rigorous spay and neuter efforts.
About 3/4 of the animals that we receive here at the Humane Society are cats. So what is one way to reduce the number of animals coming in and to save even more lives? It's TNR, and that's Trap, Neuter, Return. And we have a very successful program that started in 2018.
By spaying, neutering, and vaccinating community cats and then returning them to their outdoor home, HSWC prevents the birth of thousands of unwanted kittens each year. These cats then continue to thrive in their outdoor environment while the population stabilizes. The success of the TNR program can be credited to the shelter's on-site veterinary center, which also plays a pivotal role in the level of care that HSWC provides for its animals.
Having on-site veterinarians and a vet team means that we can address animal issues right when they happen.
By bringing spay neuter in-house, it allowed us to really expedite the adoption process for these animals and get them into their forever homes.
Having an on-site veterinary center is critical to furthering our mission for animals here in Washington County, and it's especially important to moving forward towards our goals for the next century.
It's been a wonderful several years seeing the Humane Society grow and flourish. There's still opportunities for growth as we continue to have this great organization mature and develop and meet the challenges as we move towards the future.
Over the past century, much has changed for the Humane Society of Washington County. But one thing remains the same: the organization's driving passion to do more and more for the animals of Washington County. Moving forward, the Humane Society will extend its reach further outside the shelter walls by expanding low-cost spay-neuter opportunities to more families in need, introducing innovative programs that help animals stay in loving homes, and reshaping the way felines in particular are addressed in both the shelter and community. The Humane Society will continue to be a resource for all, while upholding its core commitment to help more animals in need get the second chance that they deserve. As the organization reflects on the past, embraces the present, and plans for the future, there is no doubt that the Humane Society of Washington County will continue to be the community's leading voice for animals and set the standard of animal welfare for years to come.
Here at the Humane Society of Washington County, we have provided 100 years of refuge, care, and really hope to the animals here in the community. Thanks to our committed donors, volunteers, and staff, we've saved tens of thousands of lives. Together, just imagine what we can do for animals in the next 100 years.